A wandering monk sits in a freezing mountain temple, his fingers blackened from frostbite, his mind shattered by years of relentless practice. Hakuin Ekaku has pushed so hard toward enlightenment that his body nearly breaks. But in that breaking, something shifts. He discovers that awakening isn't found through brutal force. It's waiting in the ordinary breath, the simple bell, the life already happening around him. His radical realization becomes the blueprint for a revolution. Zen doesn't belong locked in elite monasteries. It belongs to everyone. In a world where we're all frantically searching for depth in shallow places, Hakuin's journey from destruction to restoration speaks directly to our hunger for meaning that actually lasts. Let's begin.
His unwavering spirit transformed a fading tradition into a vibrant path accessible to all. Let's begin. In today's fast-paced world where distractions constantly fracture our attention and meaning often feels elusive, the teachings of Hakuin Ekaku offer a beacon of clarity and depth. His life reminds us that awakening is not a distant, esoteric ideal, but a real possibility, right here, right now, through disciplined practice and sincere inquiry. Born in 1686 in the quiet village of Hara, Japan, young Hakuin was initially drawn to scholarly pursuits, absorbing knowledge from secular texts. However, a deeper call led him to monastic life around the year 1700. Imagine the crisp mountain air, the sound of wooden sandals echoing through temple corridors as he began a remarkable 14-year pilgrimage, seeking guidance from masters across Japan. This wanderer's journey was not just physical, but profoundly internal. At the Eiganji temple in his early 20s, surrounded by cypress trees and the smell of incense curling toward the dim ceiling, Hakuin experienced his first awakening, a direct glimpse into the nature of mind beyond ordinary understanding. Yet, witnessing the spiritual decline of Zen Buddhism under the Tokugawa shogunate's increasingly rigid and ceremonial framework, he felt a fierce urgency. Zen had become distant, even lifeless, ensnared by complacency and scholarship disconnected from practice. Returning to Shoinji Temple in 1716, a once neglected site overrun by weeds and silence, Hakuin breathed new life into its halls. Picture a vast temple garden awakening at dawn, the lotus flowers opening as a community, monks and lay people alike, gathered to share in meditation and teachings. Hakuin revitalized the Rinzai school by stressing the power of Zazen meditation, moral integrity, and the universality of awakening. Meditation was not a luxury reserved for social elites, but a path available to all, peasants, artisans, and samurai. To embody humility and connectedness, he lived simply among common folk, sharing their struggles and joys. Central to Hakuin's teaching was his radical renewal of koan practice, a form of meditation involving paradoxical riddles designed to jolt the mind beyond conventional logic. Among his inventions, the koan, "What is the sound of one hand clapping?" stands out as a sublime challenge. It invites the student to move beyond dualistic thought and experience a deeper understanding of reality. In a world flooding us with information and noise, this koan asks us to silence the chatter and listen inwardly. But Hakuin's insight extended beyond intellectual puzzles. His writings, such as Orategama and Yasen Kanwa, offered practical guidance to overcome what he called the Zen sickness, a malaise many experience when meditation brings physical or mental discomfort rather than clarity. Through methods taught by the recluse Hakuyu, Hakuin showed how to integrate the body and mind, transcending obstacles with resilience and care, rather than force or retreat. Moreover, Hakuin condemned complacency within practice. To him, the Zen barrier was a common trap where practitioners settle into spiritual comfort zones, mistaking partial realization for true awakening. His call was uncompromising: press beyond appearances, break through the barrier, and realize the profound truth of one's nature. This urgency grounded Rinzai Zen in vitality and relevance, shaping modern Zen lineages worldwide. Not merely a monk, Hakuin was a prolific artist, calligrapher, and writer. His expressive brushstrokes captured Zen's essence, the bold simplicity and ecstatic joy of awakening. His art became a living vehicle for teachings, accessible to those far beyond temple walls. Rinzai Zen today carries his spirit of rigorous yet joyful practice, reminding us that enlightenment is neither distant nor cloistered, but intimately woven into the fabric of everyday life. In essence, Hakuin's legacy is a call to all seekers: cultivate unwavering commitment, embrace paradox, transcend intellectual boundaries, and live with humility and compassion. His journey, from a curious youth to a master whose influence endures centuries later, embodies the transformative potential within each of us. A radiant sunrise cresting over snow-capped mountains, illuminating a meditating figure poised in silent stillness on a temple veranda. The serene reflection of a tranquil lotus pond, mirroring a distant ancient pagoda, bathed in golden afternoon light. A vast hall filled with monks seated in zazen, their silhouettes outlined against paper screens glowing softly with the first light of dawn.
You don't need permission to rebuild what's worn out in you. Hakuin spent 14 years wandering, doubting, nearly destroying himself, and then he stopped forcing and started listening. That same capacity lives in you right now. Whatever tradition, practice, or path has grown stale in your life doesn't have to stay dead. It can be revitalized, made real again, stripped of its pretense, and returned to its beating heart. The permission you're waiting for, you have it, not to abandon what matters, but to question it ruthlessly, to live it more honestly, to make it breathe again. This week, identify one thing you've been approaching with grim determination instead of genuine presence. Let it soften. Watch what comes alive when you do. Subscribe for more stories of teachers who rewired entire traditions and what they can teach us about transformation. Stay rooted in the wisdom of the ages.